What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always, spitting these hot topics and getting this sports conversation started. Gotta pay homage, gotta give some respect to Golden State Warriors. Just got it done. NBA champions, leaders of the basketball world. Let's talk about it. So the Golden State Warriors, world champions. And to me, I want to talk about the two people who deserve the most credit, even though it is truly strength in numbers when you talk about the Golden State Warriors. When you talk about the Warriors, you can't forget about Joe Lacob. You can't forget about Myers and what they've done to put this team together, what they're willing to pay to put this team together. They got a lot of guys there that make that squad a powerhouse. Whether you want to call it a super team, a great team, a well put together team. They deep. They got a lot of all-star caliber players on the squad. And they got one guy that we got to talk about the most, who is the all-star of all-stars, Steph Curry. Chef Curry, the greatest shooter to ever touch a basketball. The conversation today, the conversation moving forward has been, is he top 10 all time now? Now my list, my top 10, just to get through it, I ain't gonna justify why I got who, where I have them, but I'll just give you my top 10 before Steph won this finals. And that's Bill Russell at number 1, Michael Jordan at number 2, for me, LeBron James at number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at number 4, Earvin Magic Johnson at 5. And then from there, I look at Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal at number 6, Wilt Chamberlain at number 7, Kobe Bean Bryant at 8, Larry Legend Bird at number 9, and Tim Duncan, the big fundamentals, is my number 10. So where does Curry go? Before this finals, I didn't have Curry even at number 11. But I must admit, I'm trying to find room for him in the top 10. I'm really trying. To get there, I'm not going to talk about the whole list. We're going to start with Tim Duncan, because really I got to justify putting him over Tim Duncan. I think Curry is number 10 all time now. Of the guys I just mentioned, 9 of those guys, and that's everybody other than Tim Duncan, have spent time where it was unquestioned they were the best player in the world in basketball. I don't think that was the case with Tim Duncan, even though he was kind of in the conversation at times. More often than not, it was Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant during his reign, and then LeBron James during the times Tim Duncan was in the league. So I don't think he was definitively number 1 in the world. I feel kind of the same about Steph Curry. I think most of his career has been pretty much LeBron James, for a little bit Kevin Durant. And you can make the argument right now is his best case for best player in the world. But I think he's in a tie, a 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D situation with Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. They all deserve and have an argument for it. But I will say, Steph Curry with 4 championships, 2 of which he was definitively the best player on the team. He should have 2 finals MVPs right now, because Iggy should not have got that one. They gave it to him for playing a little bit of D on LeBron James. When we say a little bit of D, we talking about LeBron James put up like 35 points, close to a triple-double, was phenomenal, one of the greatest performances ever in the finals. That was called D. Iggy got a finals MVP. That's cool. But Steph Curry was the best player on that team, no question, and they won the championship. Should have been finals MVP. This one, without question, like easily, Steph Curry, I won't say carried, because we saw the depth of this team and how they were able to rally behind him even when he was having a bad night, when he was getting doubled and tripled in Game 5. and he was having an off night. It wasn't just the double and triple teams. He was off. But they had a squad, and they still won. Convincingly, if you ask me. So that did happen, but regardless of that, Curry in every other game in this series was the man, the best player on the floor on both teams. So easily Finals MVP. He's got 4 championships to his name, 2 of which he was the best player on the floor. He's got 2 MVPs. Tim Duncan got 2. He has 2. He's got the unanimous MVP. Tim doesn't have that. He's got 4, though. Tim got 5. I'll say Tim wasn't the best player on his team. Well, you can make the argument for all 5. He was Ja the best player on the team. But there's a debate with Kawhi Leonard. I actually think Tim was just as good as Kawhi. All that being said, Steph, the way he's changed the game for the better, the way he's made guys who are small guys, point guards, think they can rule the league and dominate the league, has made the big difference to me. He fights out there for the little guy, the guy that's not above the rim, even though Steph can dunk the ball, don't sleep. But he's all skill, dribble, passing, moving without the ball, learning to shoot and dominate even with bad ankles, making sure he lands right when he needs to make sure he's good. They said he couldn't be a point guard when he came into the league, and he's shown you that. They said he wasn't going to be able to make it in the league after his ankle injuries, and he showed you that. So Steph, to me, I'm going to put him at number 10. I'm going to bump Tim Duncan out of it. If you got an argument for Tim Duncan at number 10 or in the top 10, that's cool. If you got somebody else, that's cool. It's really hard. It's getting real difficult for this top 10 as we move forward. But I got Steph number 10. Not more importantly, but just as importantly, Steve Kerr. We got to talk about him. So Steve Kerr. We got to talk about Steve Kerr. To me, Steph Curry is one of the most loved basketball players, if not the most loved basketball player of all time. And that's including Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But he does get his share of hate and some disrespect, and folks don't want to give him his credit when it's due. But Steve Kerr, I feel like he gets no credit whatsoever. He inherited Mark Jackson's team, right? Mark Jackson did everything. He just took a team of stars and won. The team that was a 6th seed at best, getting bounced in the first round at best. That team. Steve Kerr took him to the number 1 seed, won a championship. Then, after losing in 2016, went back-to-back. Went to a 3rd in a row, which was really, what was that? The 5th in a row? 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then, on top of that, here we are in 2022, and Steve Kerr has his 4th NBA championship as a coach. For those that don't know, a little history on Steve Kerr's system and his offense. He put it together strategically based on his experience as an NBA employee. Let me explain. A lot of y'all don't remember Steve Kerr was the general manager of the Phoenix Suns. During the D'Antoni system, 6 seconds or less, Steve Nash, y'all know the story. He watched that pace, how quickly they got the ball up, how quickly they pushed the ball. He used that as part of his system. He played with the great Greg Popovich as a player and Phil Jackson. From Phil, he took the triangle offense and morphed it a little bit. His offense is a little bit of what we'll call a brother or sister of the triangle that he has used in order to incorporate everybody. It's not just about Steph Curry. like the triangle was about showing Michael Jordan or helping Michael Jordan. No, we need everybody else. Get the ball out of Mike's hands while Mike still dominates, but help everybody else flourish. Steve Kerr's offense does that for everyone. Draymond Green playing that Scottie Pippen role, so to speak. And that's part of the offense. And then you bring in the pick and rolls, Draymond Green, Clay and Dre, Steph and Clay, Iggy and Clay, Iggy and Steph. Kerr said he got that from getting pick and roll to death from Jerry Salone's offense in Utah, when Utah Jazz with Malone and Stockton was a big thing. He took all these units, the Jazz, Phoenix, Phil Jackson, and the Bulls, and then the Spurs. You ask what he take from them. Popovich's way he coaches up players, the way he develops players, the way he makes guys feel part of the system. How does he do that, you ask? Steve Kerr makes sure he gets everybody in his rotation. Watch as the year starts, he plays 12, 13 guys, and he does it for quite some time before he kind of shrinks the offense, but still plays 9 to 10 guys. Why is that? He said he learned from Pop while on the bench that you had to play everybody because you never know when you might need them. So you play the guys that might not even get no time, like Kuminga in these playoffs. You play them in the regular season. Kuminga got starting time in these playoffs. Or not in the playoffs, I'm sorry, in the regular season. But he didn't get time in the playoffs. But that was just in case he needed him. And he did need him a few times. Very seldomly, but he had him ready to go. Kuminga will eventually be a star. Kerr is already a legend, in my opinion. 4 championships. His system matters. People will throw the shade out there and say, well, what about after 2019 when they didn't even make the playoffs? You talking about the season when Steph Curry was out, Klay Thompson was out, he didn't have nobody on the team. Okay. Everybody. Popovich had Manu, Tony, Tim, Kawhi, David, the list goes on. Phil, Rodman, Pippen, Jordan, Pat Riley, Kareem, Worthy, Magic. Let's not talk about the other guys on the squad. They were loaded. All the greats have had great players around them. All the great coaches won because they had great talent. Steve Kerr is no exception, but the system matters. Steve Kerr, his ball movement helps. His humility to keep some of the foundation of what Mark Jackson brought from a defensive standpoint and to bring in a Mike Brown to foster that shows his commitment and his leadership ability. Steve Kerr, to me, has solidified himself. There used to be a 4 horsemen for me with coaches in the NBA. Phil Jackson, Red Auerbach, Pat Riley, and Greg Popovich. Those are your top 4. They always have been. Like we moving Curry into the top 10. Let's make some room for Steve Kerr. We got to make it 5. Top 5 coaches all time in NBA history. Steve Kerr. And I don't really want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no arguments. If he ain't in your top 5, you got the right to your opinion. I just disagree. All right, y'all. That's all my time. Y'all know what it is. J Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or hit the bell on YouTube. Please comment. Let's go back and forth. Let's get these subscribers up. Holler at me on YouTube for sure. But remember, I'm on Instagram as well. At The Vault JMU414 on Twitter. And of course, what's up, TikTok? I'll holler at y'all next time.